Have you ever just stopped for a moment? Maybe things are quiet and you really think about what it means to live a life that feels, you know, genuinely rich, fulfilling, maybe even wise.
Mm.
I don't just mean like having a lot of money or being super smart. What are the real deep secrets to a life that's not just okay, but actually great, profoundly meaningful?
That's such a fundamental question, isn't it? It's something people have wrestled with forever, really. You see it in ancient philosophy, spiritual texts, even modern science, looking at happiness and well-being.
Exactly. And that's what we want to dig into today. We're going on a bit of an intellectual adventure.
Yeah, pulling together ideas from some really different places.
Totally. We've got thinkers like Leo Tolstoy, Henry David Thoreau, even insights from the Quran. But then we're also looking at modern folks like Robert Greene, the scientist, Albert St. Georgi, even Walt Disney.
It's quite a mix, but the goal isn't just to, list a bunch of quotes. It's to find the common threads, the actionable stuff.
Right. What actually works? What does it take?
And what seems to emerge is that wisdom isn't something you're just born with or that strikes you like lightning. It seems to come from, well, effort, from paying attention,
Hmm.
from kindness.
Effort, attention, kindness. Okay.
And it's fascinating how these diverse voices, centuries apart sometimes, point towards similar paths for real personal growth. Practical paths, not just vague ideas. It cuts through a lot of the noise, I think.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's dive in. Where do we start? You mentioned effort as foundational.
Yes, absolutely. Let's start there. The foundation really seems to be this idea of effort and, crucially, perseverance.
Okay.
The core message from so many of these sources is that wisdom, or moral growth, isn't like reaching a final level in a game. It's not passive.
You don't just achieve wisdom and then you're done.
Exactly. It's an active, ongoing thing. It requires continuous daily effort. Sometimes it's hard work. It's really a journey, not a destination.
And Leo Tolstoy, the writer, he had something strong to say about this, didn't he?
He really did. He basically said, effort is the necessary condition of moral perfection.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
direct.
It is, and it pushes back against this modern idea that maybe you can just think your way into being a better person or have good intentions.
Right, like just reading self-help books or meditating occasionally.
Tolstoy was wary of that. He specifically warned against thinking you can reach some high spiritual state while letting your body just chill out in idleness and luxuries, as he put it.
So mind and body have to be in sync.
That's the idea. If your actions, your daily habits, don't involve real effort and discipline, then just thinking about being good or wise, well, it doesn't really stick. It stays abstract. Moral growth needs action.
That makes sense. Like learning anything difficult, really. You can't just read about playing the piano,
Precisely. You have to sit down, practice the scales, hit wrong notes, get frustrated.
fall off the bike, get back on.
Exactly. Or even learning to tie your shoes as a kid. Remember that? It's awkward. You fumble around.
Oh, yeah. Felt impossible at first.
But the source material points out, it's like the trying itself makes you stronger, not just the moment you finally nail it. That struggle, that effort, actually builds something in you, builds resilience maybe.
Okay, so the effort itself has value, not just the outcome.
That seems to be a key insight. It's the engagement with the difficulty that changes you.
And Thoreau fits in here too, something about the body.
Yes, Henry David Thoreau, he put it so powerfully. The body is the first student of the soul.
Hmm. The body is the first student of the soul. What does that really mean in this context?
Well, it echoes Tolstoy, doesn't it? It suggests that how we treat our physical selves, the discipline we apply to our actions, how we move through the world, that directly shapes our inner character, our soul, if you like.
So physical discipline can lead to spiritual or moral development.
That's the connection being made. It's not just about abstract ideals floating in your head. It's about embodying those ideals through what you physically do, day in and day out. The body learns first, and the soul follows.
Interesting. And the Quran also emphasizes effort.
Yes, there's a powerful insight highlighted. Only in his effort is a person shown in his real light.
Shown in his real light, meaning effort reveals who you truly are.
Exactly. Not when things are easy, not when you're comfortable. Your real character, your depth, it comes out when you have to make an effort, especially when it's hard or maybe morally tricky.
Okay, can you give an example of that? How effort reveals character in a tough situation?
Well, the sources give some really challenging examples like, if you were abused, make an effort to love those who have abused you.
Wow. That's incredibly difficult. Love them.
It's not about excusing the harm. It's about the immense internal effort required to move beyond bitterness, maybe, to not let that abuse define you entirely. It's a profound kind of effort.
And the flip side, if you're the one who caused harm,
Then the guidance is, make an effort to correct the evil which you created. Again, it's about action. Not just saying sorry, but really working to understand the impact and make amends. Sustained effort.
so it's this active work, this really hard effort, especially when it goes against our immediate impulses or comfort. That's where wisdom shows up.
That's exactly the point being made. It's in the doing, the striving, the effort itself. That's the manifestation of wisdom, not just knowing the right thing.
Okay. And then Samuel Johnson adds another layer about perseverance.
Yes, Mary Johnson.
Mm.
He said, great works are performed not by strength, but by perseverance.
Strength versus perseverance. What's the distinction there?
Strength might give you the initial push, the power to start something big, but perseverance, that's the sticking power. It's keeping going even when you want to give up.
Like when you're learning that piano piece and you keep messing up the same part.
Exactly. The people who get good aren't necessarily the ones who find it easy instantly. They're the ones who persist. They keep practicing through the frustration. They persevere.
So perseverance is effort sustained over time, even through difficulty.
Precisely. And Johnson's point is that this applies to any great work, not just famous achievements. Becoming a better person, living wisely. That's a great work too, and it requires that same steady perseverance.
Okay, this is a really strong foundation, but it does raise a question for me. We live in a world that's kind of obsessed with quick fixes, instant results. How does this focus on slow, sustained effort fit in today?
That's a crucial question. I think it forces us to challenge that whole instant gratification mindset. Sure, quick wins feel good, but do they build deep character? Do they lead to lasting fulfillment?
Probably not, when you put it like that.
These sources suggest wisdom is more like compound interest, or maybe like growing a strong tree. It takes time. Each small, consistent effort, being disciplined, being kind when it's tough, working to fix a mistake, it adds up.
It builds something solid over time.
Exactly. A resilient inner structure, a foundation for a truly good life. It's a reminder that the really valuable things often aren't the quick, easy ones. They're the ones you earn through that steady, intentional effort.
That makes a lot of sense. Building slowly, intentionally. Which actually leads nicely into the next big idea you mentioned, tuning into our inner compass, paying attention to our bodies, our senses.
Yes, precisely. If effort is the foundation, then attention is perhaps the main tool we use to build upon it. And this starts very fundamentally. Paying attention to your own body.
My body. How does that connect to wisdom?
Well, the sources suggest something quite profound. Your body and your feelings are best friends, not enemies.
Best friends, not enemies. That challenges how we often think, doesn't it? Like the mind is separate or the body is just this vehicle.
Right. But think about it practically. Consider your posture. If you're slouching, hunched over, how does that feel?
Yeah, probably tired, maybe a bit down, less engaged.
Exactly. Now, what if you sit up straight? Open your chest a little.
You feel more alert, maybe more confident, ready.
There you go. Your body's physical state is constantly talking to your emotional state, and vice versa. It's a two-way street. The body's always trying to tell you things if you actually listen. Paying attention to those signals is a first step to greater self-awareness.
Like learning the body's language.
Kind of, yeah. It's called interoception, that awareness of your internal state. And bringing conscious attention to something as basic as posture starts opening that channel. It helps you understand your own internal landscape better.
Okay. And there was an acronym to help with this, SLOTH.
Yes, SLOTH. It stands for sleep, leisure, occupation, travel, and home.
Sleep, leisure, occupation, travel, home. What's the idea behind that?
It's a prompt, really. A reminder to pay attention to our postures while performing all activities of daily life. Because how you hold yourself during sleep, relaxation, work, commuting, even just around the house, it all adds up.
And this affects more than just back pain.
Definitely. It's about overall spinal health, which is linked to your nervous system, energy levels, even mood regulation. So caring for your body's posture in these areas is really about supporting your whole self. It helps you be more present, more focused.
So it's like becoming a detective of your own life, noticing these physical details.
That's a great way to put it. You start by noticing more about your body, maybe a tight shoulder, or feeling grounded when you stand tall. And that heightened self-awareness tends to ripple outwards.
How so?
You start noticing more about your feelings too. And then maybe you notice more subtle things in your friends or details in the world around you that you missed before. It builds from the inside out. Somatic awareness leads to broader awareness.
Which connects to the next idea, right? The magic of noticing little things from Robert Greene.
Exactly. Green talks about how children have this amazing ability, almost like a superpower, to see everything as interesting and new.
Yeah, kids can be fascinated by a bug on the sidewalk for ages.
Right. But as adults, we often lose that. We're busy, we're rushing, we have goals, we filter out all the amazing little details because they don't seem immediately relevant.
We stop really seeing things.
We develop a kind of tunnel vision. Now, Green originally discussed this in the context of seduction, strategy.
Right. His work can be quite strategic.
Yes, but the underlying principle, when we reframe it for just living a good life, is incredibly valuable. It's about reclaiming that sensory awareness, deliberately slowing down, paying attention again, connecting with simple pleasures.
So not about manipulation, but about genuine connection.
Absolutely. It's about making others and yourself feel seen, feel special, feel like the world isn't just transactional. And how do you do that? Through the details.
Details. Okay. What kind of details?
It's not about grand gestures or expensive gifts. The sources say the details that you orchestrate, colors, gifts, little ceremonies, are aimed at their senses, at the childish delight we take in the immediate charms of the natural world.
Appealing to that childlike wonder.
Exactly. And crucially, Green notes, and this is key for genuine connection, lofty words and grand gestures can be suspicious. Why are you trying so hard to please?
Ah, yeah. Sometimes big displays feel fake, or like they're compensating for something.
Right. Whereas the details, the subtle gestures, the offhand things you do are often more charming and revealing. It's the small things you notice because you are actually paying attention.
Like remembering someone's favorite kind of tea or asking about that specific thing they were worried about last week.
Precisely. Or instead of a generic birthday card, maybe sketching something simple you know they like, or mentioning a small detail you appreciated about them recently. It shows you see them as an individual. That quality of attention is powerful.
That leads perfectly to that statement you mentioned. Beyond time, our true wealth is the quality of our attention. That sounds really profound.
It is, isn't it? It reframes everything.
Mm.
It suggests that how you engage with life, the depth and presence you bring to each moment, is actually more valuable than what you earn or achieve.
More valuable than money or status.
That's the implication. Think about it. You could have the most expensive gadget, but if you're distracted, scrolling, worrying,
Yeah.
is the experience rich?
No, probably not.
But you could be doing something simple, really listening to music or watching the rain or being fully present in a conversation. And if your attention is fully there, that experience can feel incredibly rich and meaningful. The value isn't inherent in the activity. It's in the quality of your engagement with it.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. How does this quality of attention thing connect directly to becoming wiser? It feels important, but what's the link?
It's fundamental. High-quality attention is like the lens through which you perceive reality more clearly, more deeply. When you're truly paying attention, you're not just skimming the surface.
You see more.
You see more, yes, but you also see differently. You start noticing patterns, subtleties, connections that a distracted mind completely misses. Think about really listening to someone, not just waiting to talk, but listening. You pick up on their tone, their pauses, the unspoken things. That's empathy, which is a huge part of wisdom.
So attention fuels understanding.
It fuels understanding, empathy, pattern recognition, all crucial components of wisdom. It allows you to gather richer data from your experiences and then to process that data more effectively. It literally helps you learn better and faster from life itself. It transforms mundane moments into learning opportunities.
Okay, that makes sense. Deeper attention leads to deeper understanding, which seems like a good bridge to the next idea. The explorer's mindset, curiosity and discovery.
Exactly, because once you start paying closer attention, you naturally become more curious. You start noticing things that spark questions. And that leads us to a brilliant quote from Albert Szent-Györgyi, the Nobel laureate.
What did he say?
He said, "Discovery consists of seeing what everybody has seen and thinking what nobody has thought."
Seeing what everybody has seen, but thinking what nobody has thought. So discovery isn't always about finding something totally new.
Not necessarily. Often it's about looking at the familiar something everyone sees, but bringing a fresh perspective, a new way of thinking to it. It's about interpretation, not just observation.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think about that tree you walk past every day. Everyone sees it. But maybe one day, really paying attention, you notice the unique way the roots grip the earth, or how different kinds of moss grow only on one side, or you suddenly wonder why it thrives in that particular spot.
Okay, I'm looking closer, asking questions.
Right. The tree is the same, but your thinking about it is new. You've transformed an ordinary tree into something fascinating because you brought a novel thought process to it. That leap, that's the essence of discovery, according to St. Georgi, seeing the extraordinary in the ordinary.
I like that. And Walt Disney connects here too, with curiosity.
Yes, Walt Disney captured the driving force behind this perfectly. He said, "We keep moving forward, opening new doors because we're curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths."
Curiosity as the engine.
Exactly. It's what pushes us to explore, to learn, to try new things. It's the antidote to getting stuck.
So it's about actively cultivating that habit of asking questions like, I wonder why, or what if?
Absolutely. Asking those kinds of questions turns everyday life into an ongoing exploration. Even routine tasks can become opportunities to learn something new if you approach them with genuine curiosity.
And you can see how attention and curiosity feed each other.
Definitely. The more you pay attention, like Green suggests, the more details you notice. Those details spark questions, like St. Georgi implies, which fuels your curiosity to explore further, like Disney encourages. It's a cycle.
Attention provides the data, curiosity asks the questions.
Precisely. It's a really dynamic interplay.
So let's think about someone listening who feels maybe a bit stuck or uninspired. How can cultivating this explorer's mindset help them?
It can be incredibly powerful. Even small acts of curiosity can break you out of a rut. Maybe you deliberately take a different route home and just notice things. Or you pick a topic you know nothing about and spend 15 minutes learning something basic. Or you ask a why question about something you normally take for granted at work or home.
Small shifts in approach.
Yes. These small acts disrupt routine thinking. They inject a little bit of discovery into the everyday. It shifts you from being a passive recipient of your life to an active explorer within it. It can really re-energize your perspective.
Okay, this is all really inspiring effort, attention, curiosity. But let's be real, putting this into practice isn't always easy. It takes guts sometimes.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It requires pushing against comfort zones, facing challenges, which brings us to the next crucial element, the courage to grow.
Courage, okay.
And this isn't just about facing external threats. It's often about internal courage, the bravery to keep trying when things are difficult, and maybe most importantly, the courage to embrace mistakes and learn from them.
Embrace mistakes. That sounds tricky. But first, there was something called the Warrior's Creed.
Yes, the sources mention this creed. Live strong, act bold, be brave, nothing's too hard to do, always believe.
That sounds intense, like something out of an action movie.
Maybe a bit. But the emphasis here, in the context of wisdom, isn't about physical fighting. Brave here means inner strength, fortitude.
The strength to keep going.
Yes, the courage to persevere, especially when you face setbacks or your own limitations. It's about not letting fear or past failures stop you. It's the bravery to commit and recommit to your growth.
And this links back to Samuel Johnson again, perseverance.
Exactly. Remember, great works are performed not by strength, but by perseverance. That act of persevering, of showing up again and again despite difficulty, that is an act of courage. It takes guts to keep putting in the effort when results aren't immediate.
Okay, but the really challenging part for me is this idea of embracing mistakes. Being brave also means being willing to make mistakes. That feels counterintuitive.
It does, doesn't it? We're often conditioned to see mistakes as failures, as things to be avoided at all costs.
Right, like getting a bad grade or saying the wrong thing.
But think about it. If you're genuinely trying new things, if you're pushing yourself to pay closer attention, if you're exploring unfamiliar territory,
Yeah.
you will make mistakes. It's inevitable. You might misread a situation, try something that doesn't work, stumble over your words.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
And the crucial insight here is making mistakes is how you learn to get better at understanding the world and the people in it.
So mistakes aren't the end of the story. They're part of the learning process.
They are essential to the learning process. A mistake isn't a verdict on your worth. It's feedback. It's data. If you're too afraid to make mistakes, you'll never venture beyond what you already know. You'll never truly grow or innovate. Courage means being willing to risk being wrong in order to learn.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit more because it is so counterintuitive. Equating bravery with making mistakes, that requires a real shift in thinking, doesn't it? From seeing mistakes as bad to seeing them as data.
It's a huge paradigm shift, yes. But it's vital for resilience and real growth. Think about scientists. They run experiments knowing many will fail. But each failure tells them something, guides the next step. To truly learn, you need psychological safety. You need to feel safe enough to try things, to experiment, even if you might get it wrong.
Otherwise, you just play it safe all the time.
Exactly. You stick to the known path. Embracing mistakes, learning from them, adjusting your approach that builds an iterative mindset. It's how you develop adaptability, resilience, and genuine expertise. The long-term payoff of learning far outweighs the short-term discomfort of messing up. It's about progress, not perfection.
Progress, not perfection. I like that. Okay, so we've covered effort, attention, curiosity, and now courage, especially the courage to learn from mistakes. These are powerful ideas. But the big question is always, how do we actually do this? How do we bring this into our everyday lives?
Right. This is where it gets really practical. How do we integrate these concepts so they're not just nice ideas we talked about, but part of how we actually live?
Yeah, let's get concrete.
Okay, let's start with the morning. Instead of just gulping down coffee while checking emails, maybe you take 30 seconds to really taste the coffee. Notice the warmth, the aroma.
Just pay attention.
Just pay attention. Or feel your feet on the floor when you get out of bed. Feel the weight of your bag as you pick it up. Small moments of sensory awareness.
And the posture thing, SLOTH.
Yeah, maybe as you sit down to work or eat breakfast, just consciously adjust your posture. Sit tall for a moment. Notice how it feels. Does it make you feel a little more alert? These are tiny shifts, but they start building that muscle of attention.
Okay, simple things. What about with other people? Friends, colleagues?
Here, you can practice that remembering little things idea. Not like keeping score, but genuinely listening. If a friend mentioned they were nervous about something, maybe the next time you see them, you ask, hey, how did that thing go?
Showing you listened, showing you care about their specific experience.
Exactly. Or noticing if someone seems quieter than usual, maybe just gently checking in, everything okay? These small acts of focused attention really show people they matter to you as individuals. It builds connection.
And at home, with family, that can be tricky sometimes.
Definitely. This is where Tolstoy's idea of loving effort comes in. Say a sibling or partner does something irritating. Instead of reacting immediately, maybe you try, just for a moment, to understand why. Are they stressed, bored, feeling ignored?
Taking a moment to understand instead of just getting annoyed, that takes effort.
It takes real effort. And if you mess up, if you hurt someone's feelings, the wisdom isn't just in saying sorry. It's in the effort to make it better. Really listen to why they're hurt, understand your part, and actively try to repair things.
So it's about the work involved in relationships, too.
Absolutely. That sustained, loving effort is crucial for building strong, resilient relationships. It's wisdom in action.
What strikes me about all these examples is they're not huge life-altering changes overnight.
Not at all. They are ways of practicing the kind of attention that makes life more interesting and meaningful. It's the consistency, the repetition of these small practices that adds up over time.
Okay. And there was one more quote you mentioned from Maugham about popular opinion.
Ah, yes, William Somerset Maugham. If 40 million people say a foolish thing, it does not become wise.
Huh. I like that one. So just because something is popular doesn't make it right or smart.
Precisely. It's a call for independent judgment, for developing your own discernment. Wisdom sometimes means questioning the crowd, not just going along with what's fashionable or easy.
And how does practicing attention and effort help with that?
Well, the more you practice paying close attention to your own experience, the more you learn to trust your own observations. The more you practice applying effort to understand things deeply, the better equipped you are to evaluate ideas critically. It helps you build your own good judgment so you can tell the difference between genuine wisdom and just popular noise.
So these practices build internal clarity, which helps you navigate the external world better.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, this feels really empowering. It feels like something you could actually start doing.
Absolutely. You don't need permission. You don't need a special course. You just start. Pick one thing.
Just one.
Maybe just one to begin with. Maybe today you just focus on your posture during lunch. Or you make a point to really listen in one conversation without interrupting. Or you try to understand someone's perspective when you feel annoyed.
The goal isn't perfection straight away.
Definitely not. The goal is just to slowly get better, little by little. Think of it like planting a garden.
A garden? How so?
Well, you plant some seeds, maybe wisdom seeds of attention, effort, curiosity, kindness. Then you tend to them. You water them with practice. You give them the sunlight of your focus. Slowly, patiently.
And eventually things start to grow.
Exactly. Beautiful things start to grow. Wisdom develops like that, through small, consistent, conscious choices, day after day.
And the long-term impact.
Years down the line, you'll look back and see how all those little choices added up. How they helped you become someone who notices more beauty, understands people better, someone who knows how to work hard for things that truly matter.
That's a powerful image, building that inner garden.
And you know what else? When you live like that, when you embody that kind of attention and care, it's contagious.
Contagious.
When
How?
someone feels really seen and heard and cared for by you, genuinely, it makes them feel like they matter. And when people feel they matter, they're more likely to treat others that way too. It ripples outwards. Wisdom becomes contagious in the best possible way.
Wow. Okay, so wrapping this up, we've really covered a lot of ground today.
We've gone from the foundational need for effort and perseverance
Right, like Tolstoy and Johnson emphasized.
to the incredible power of paying attention, really noticing the details in our bodies and the world, like Thoreau and Green suggested.
And the importance of staying curious, asking questions, adopting that explorer's mindset from St. George and Disney.
And then the courage to keep going, and crucially, to learn from our mistakes, not fear them.
Which all comes together in these small, practical ways we can actually live this out daily, building that inner garden, seed by seed.
Exactly. It boils down to this. Wisdom isn't about having all the answers locked away somewhere. It's about how you live. It's knowing how to pay attention, how to try hard, how to care about others in ways that genuinely make a difference.
So, the final thought for everyone listening, what really stood out to you from all of this today? What's one small seed of wisdom you could plant in your own life, maybe even right now? A little extra effort, a moment of focused attention.
It's a journey, not a destination. Keep exploring. Keep practicing. The rewards are immeasurable.